I'm now joined from Cardiff by Melhem Mansour. He's a Syrian refugee living in Wales. Melhem Mansour, thank you very much for being with us on GMT. What's your reaction today when you hear that the number of people who've been displaced in your homeland in Syria has reached 6 million, 2 million of them abroad like you?
We live in this kind of pain. It's very harmful to hear the increasing number of Syrians getting out of the country. In addition, we have this bigger number inside the country. We feel the sorrow and our hearts always with our brothers and sisters in the country and the refugees all around.
When the conflict started, what, 2.5 years ago or so, I mean, did you think then that there would still be a war going on, that so many people like you will have fled? Did you think that was possible?
Actually, the first influx of refugees, let's say, it was the intellectual refugees who fled the country because of the persecution of the regime at the very beginning of the revolution. Then the number has increased to affect other people. And a lot of Syrians had left the country. They think, as we saw in the report, to return back to the country, which never happened. And at the end, a lot of Syrians who lived abroad for 1 or 2 years, they decided to apply as refugees in the countries where they live. No one detected that the conflict will go as long as it is now.
Now, as I understand it, you came to this country in 2011. What would it take for you to go back?
I think as long as the conflict will go on, I think a lot of Syrian refugees have to establish their lives in the UK. But for activists like me and other activists, we're still hoping that we could return back to participate and contribute in the transitional period in the country. This is the hope also of millions of Syrian refugees in Lebanon and Jordan, because they live in misery. So I think it's very important for us to keep this hope and dream that we will be back to the country.
Are you still in touch with people inside Syria, friends and family? And what are they saying to you? How have things changed for them?
The situation became more horrible than before. We know that all the prices are more expensive than before. It's insecure to move around in a lot of towns. Even in safer places, a lot of bombings happened, making the general environment and atmosphere insecure for most of Syrians. So it's people got adapted to the situation, but they still feel this kind of fear of going out and the fear of the future. We have this devolution of the Syrian currency affected the economy and the lives of millions of Syrians as well.